That's M from her new album, Move. Sound engineer by day, Auckland indie artist by night. We asked M why releasing Move on vinyl was so important to her.
It's the ties that bind you, the love that finds you caught up in yourself.
I think it's a really important part of what I do, really, because as an engineer, I love working on like projects. I like working on albums, and so as a artist to put out a vinyl and be like, listen to it as a project is part of the vibe for me. So.
Cool. And speaking of you being your regular job, I guess, as an engineer, how does that affect you making music? And because you must see a lot of other artists recording and how they work and what they do right and wrong.
Yeah, I think it's all the people I work on, I find very inspiring.
Right.
And I did a lot of collaboration on this album, and that was born from people I've worked with who I thought, we could write together, and I think you could contribute to my project really well. You definitely I think it's all about process. In my job, you really have to learn when something's done. You have to learn when you need to try new ideas, or you just get really good at the process part of it. So I find that really easy with my work. I know people say a lot with my artist projects, like, how do you put out stuff so quickly and you seem reasonably efficient? And I think it's just because as part of engineering, you have to get the process down. So that's not an issue for me as much. Yeah.
Cool. So do you use a different part of your brain, so to speak, when you're creating and writing and recording yourself?
Yeah, I think so. They're definitely separated out. Like, I can be tired from doing a session all day and still have energy to make my own stuff.
Right.
It does come from slightly different places, yeah.
All right. Very good. So is the Orchid the newest single from the record?
The Orchid, yeah.
Orchard. I can't read my own writing.
Yeah, so, okay. The Orchid is the kind of like focus track that comes out with the digital release. And it's the last track on the record. It's like kind of the closing track.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, kind of really encapsulates a lot of the feeling at the time when I was making it. So.
Collaboration going on that track?
Yeah. So I wrote it at my sort of old flat with my flatmate David. He plays in Le'au. And we actually made instrumentals for 2 tracks that day, but it was just in our lounge. We had our flatmate's dog annoying us the whole time. Just felt very natural. And he played kind of in sort of slightly different tunings that he was more comfortable with and what he would play with Le'au stuff. And it sort of, the Orchard ended up becoming this song that really reminds me of that flat and that time. And we had a lot of different fruit trees in the back of our house.
My next question. There you go.
Yeah. So, we had heaps of different fruit trees, and it was kind of one of the first times where I would be working. And even though I was having a really, really fun day recording, I was like, I just want to go home and sit in the garden and enjoy that space.
Right.
And yeah, the song, I feel, really both encapsulates the sound of our flat and also the feeling of being there.
Okay. And overall, where did you record most of the album? I assume not in your flat.
Oh, that's a great question. I've had a lot of flux this year.
Okay.
So it started at Parachute Music.
Right.
And I was on a casual tendency at the time, so I was moving around lots of different studios at Parachute. So basically all of their casual studios, we did stuff in all of those. Then towards the end of last year, I went into the big studio at Parachute for a couple of days with their engineer, Jeremy. And that was really cool for me to not be in the engineering sort of seat for that and to trust someone else to do that. Obviously, I still was like in it, but
you do a little hovering.
Yeah, I tried to not. I tried to take a back seat.
Right.
So that was a cool sort of different thing for me to do that, and had some friends in to record there. And then I got singles funding for a song. And we went into the Brick Room at Parachute, and I took my friend Alex Corbett. Alex has got like a music board for engineering and does my Record Enable initiative with me. So that was cool to have them in the hot seat for that.
Uh-huh.
So we did a little bit there. I then left Parachute and went to another studio just off Newton Road. And so a bunch of the kind of later songs were done there. The feature of those songs being that there was like a fair bit of bleed and stuff in that studio, but I kind of just embraced it and was like, okay, so we're just doing some birds. But also at my flat, so the songs I wrote with David, a lot of what's recorded for those are just at the flat, and then I did a couple of other writing sessions there. I did a lot of my vocals just at home.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just because I'm more relaxed, I guess.
Right.
I could sit in the studio all day and it would not sound fine, and then I'd go sit in bed and I'd nail it in like 2 takes. So, there, and then I think the very end of the record, I'm now just in a studio off K Road for a little bit. And so I finished my mastering in that studio. So all over the place. It's a little tour of Auckland, really.
Yeah, sounds like it. So it opens with a song called Boat Sounds. Where was that done?
So the first song is Lucky Star, but the second song is Boat Sounds.
Okay, I must have a different order somewhere along the line.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. So let's start again. The first song is Lucky Star. Where does that
At night, sometimes I wonder what I'd be like. Would I hold this love in my life if I never found you? Girl, as you are, I'll be here to play the part. Yeah, you're my lucky star. What's a girl gonna do?
So that one I wrote it by myself at Parachute. And then I had the next day I had a writing session with my friend Arahi.
Right.
And we were in a different studio at Parachute and kind of developed that up together. And then I think about a month later, we went upstairs at Parachute and did the bulk of the recording there. And then once again, I just tinkered away at it in all the different places after that. But that song and actually Boat Sounds were written at a similar time, both with a lot of Arahi involvement. And they were finished reasonably early on in the process.
Have you worked with Arahi? Is his art with his stuff? Is that how you got to know him?
I got to know him. We did a recording session. He did a bunch of music for an NZ, for a TVNZ like kind of show.
Right.
It was called Relentless, about like a boxing gym.
Okay.
He did a bunch of music for that, and he asked me to help record drums and bits and pieces. So that's how we met. And then he was also just a big fan of my music. He would tell me like, I really love your last project that you did.
Nice.
And so, well, that's a perfect person to bring on to collaborate on this stuff. Yeah.
I think you have Ina in there somewhere, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. So Amy and I have been friends for ages. I did producer development funding with her back in 2021.
Right.
And so we've been friends for a long time. And so she came in, she basically helped me write all of the second verses for stuff. I really struggle sometimes getting a second verse. So she really helped me with that. And she also played a bunch of violin and viola throughout as well.
Yeah, all righty. And the album cover is somewhat distinctive. What can you tell me about how that came about?
That was a really hard process. So me and my friend Jack Mensah, he does a lot of like live tour photography, like at like Spark Arena and stuff.
Right.
And also does like a bit of like music video stuff and kind of taking pictures for a lot of my friends. We collaborated on my last album cover, and I think I just really like his style naturally, and he's gotten to know what I like as well. And so we've developed this really nice creative relationship. We had an entirely different idea for the album cover that we did and we executed and then got to it and were like, I think this idea has failed. Like, and that just happens. Like, it wasn't necessarily bad. It wasn't not good enough. It just kind of failed as a concept, which is fine. But I panicked because I had to get a single out and I didn't have any artwork. And so I was like, just come to my garden and we'll just get some shots of me running, and
Right.
we'll just get movement. And so yeah, we have that. It was sort of like he's great because he just sends me basically. He goes through once and gets all the bad pictures out, and then just sends me all of them, and then I just pick the ones that I like.
Right.
Which I appreciate, because sometimes people don't know exactly what I'm looking for, and so they'll
Sure.
give me a whole bunch of pictures where I'm like, it's none of these.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that picture, it was instantly like, okay, that's the album cover, done.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
easy. And then we just had to find. We also found all the single covers from that as well.
Once it's all out and about, are you doing live shows?
No.
No.
Well, I will.
Okay.
I'm not actually. Well, I haven't been a live artist up until this point.
Right.
I like making music. That's my
Gotcha.
happy place. I did my kind of first performance since high school a couple months ago in July. I played for Play Exchange. I just did one song for that with Arahi.
Uh-huh.
And then as part of that single for Lucky Star, we recorded that piano version of the song.
Right.
That was at Big Fan, which was really nice.
Oh yes, I was just there last night.
Yeah, but they have a lovely piano up in Studio 3, so we did that. And then last week for my vinyl release, I was like, I'm going to put myself out there. And so for the vinyl release, we had like just like a private little celebration with friends and family and collaborators.
Right.
And I played a couple songs at that, which according to attendees meant it was a gig. So I guess I had...
Okay. Well, that's
but Amy played with me, and James Mack played with me.
oh, good.
And yeah, I think we will probably do shows. It's just making sure that it feels good and right, and that I'm not freaking myself out about it.
All right.
But that will be eventually.
Do you consider yourself a natural performer?
To a degree. I think once I'm doing it,
What? Right.
once I feel practiced, once
Yep.
I am comfortable with being up there, but getting to that point can take a while. I'm not natural at getting to that point. Yeah.
All right. All right. Very good. And do you have more plans afoot for the next batch of songs? Do you have more waiting?
Yeah.
in the queue? Yep.
Yeah, when it started. Yeah,
Okay.
I've probably got like 7 demos at the moment. Done a whole bunch of writing, just because while I'm only in this studio on K Road until like Christmas, so trying to smash out as many sessions as I can to get the bulk of the next kind of project going.
Right.
Who knows when that will come out? Like, I released my last album a year ago. I don't think I'll do that short of a time again, but maybe I will. Yeah.
Okay. Got any cool sessions coming up that you're going to be engineering with other artists?
Well, I just finished the album sessions for Ado,
Oh, right.
which I'm
Yep.
really excited about. They have their first song for that Puna order coming out towards the end of the month.
Oh, yeah.
Very happy with that project. We recorded it at the lab. We
Yep.
finished it off in this K Road studio. That's been really cool and exciting. I'm mixing a whole bunch of songs for an artist called Anika Rani. She does awesome music, so it's an absolute pleasure to be doing that. And I'm also working with Fables at the moment.
Oh, good.
Jess just put out a track, Sundown, which I mastered, and I've done some recording and stuff for her as well. So yeah, lots of
things
stuff on the go.
That's good to hear. All righty. Well, thank you very much for all that. Good luck with the release, and hopefully we will get to see you perform some
Yeah.
at some point. You never know, but sounds like you're keeping yourself busy and having fun at K Road.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.